What's up, everyone? So yeah, let's get right to it. We want to talk about people who let you down constantly. Now, before I start this video, I want to say this: whether it's your child, your spouse, your parent, your friend, maybe somebody you work with who doesn't keep up their end of the bargain, if you are dealing with a person who lets you down constantly, it sucks. There's no way around it. You know, I mean, it just makes you feel bad, and it causes a flood of emotions to be in your head. Like, you start to feel resentment, you feel anger, you feel sad, you feel doubt. This person has created the blueprint of what you think trust is in a relationship, so you may not trust other people based on the way that this person handles and treats you. It's just a bad feeling, And so the reason why this whole topic is even coming up is because yesterday I had an upset. I am a Buffalo Bills fan. I'm from Buffalo. I believe in being loyal to your hometown. And so the Buffalo Bills had not been to the playoffs in, I think, in about 25 years. And so they made it to the playoffs. They faced the Kansas City Chiefs. This was the one that we were betting on so that they can make it to the Super Bowl, and they lost. And so I believe when an NFL team or an NBA team or whatever team on a national level is from your hometown, when they lose, the whole town loses, right? So, I mean, that's just how I felt. But then I started asking myself, yo, how long do you stay with a person that constantly creates this expectation and anticipation, like they get you excited and then let you down again? Right. So it made me think about you, because it's Mama's Boy Monday. And so we're specifically talking to those women who are in relationships with men who identify as mama's boys, in terms of the toxic behavior that comes about with that. So, I think the first thing that I want to let you know when you are dealing with somebody who you can't trust because they constantly let you down is, number one, never assume. Okay, I'm gonna give you 5 points. Number one is never assume. Never assume that this person understands the significance and the value that you place in what you are asking them. Because all of us have different values and we place importance and priority on different things. You may ask your man to do something and he doesn't do it, and then you feel hurt by it and you think that it's personal, and maybe it's just not important to him. Not that you're not important, but that task that you asked him to do is not important to him. So never assume that it's important, but also at the same time, never assume. Never assume also that he's going to do exactly what you ask him to. And when you don't come from this assumption place, then the expectation and the anticipation isn't built up to the point that if it doesn't happen, you're let down. And when the letdown happens, it feels like severe. So never go off of assumption. Make sure that you clearly articulate what it is that you need this man to do. And when you clearly articulate what it is that you need this man to do, then you are not operating from an assumption place. You're operating from a certain place. Are you going to do this? Yes. Allow him to say yes, and then repeat back to me what you just heard me say. And then he repeats back to you, and then moving forward. And then if he does not do what it is that you asked him to do, then we can go to the next step. The next step is this: accept the man for who he is. Once you start to accept your partner, like really accept the relationship that you're in, then there's no judgment. Then there is awareness. When there is awareness, there is power. When you are aware, you are powerful, because a person that doesn't have acceptance with things will constantly stay in a state of insecurity. You'll stay in a state of insecurity because you'll be putting hope and potential in not in what's real. Like, have you heard about those people who fell in love with the potential of a person, and then a year, 2 years, 3 years, heck, maybe in 5 months into the relationship, they find out that that person is not who they thought they were? Right. That's because we fall in love with the potential of a person, or the potential of what a person can do, and we don't see that person for who they are. Once you see the person for who they are, then you can start to make more sound decisions, like, well, maybe I won't be asking him to do this because that's not who he is. Or maybe this isn't his strong suit, so perhaps I can do things to kind of help to build him, or connect him with other men who are strong in this area that can help this man out. And then you can go to your third point, right? After you've like not fall in love with the potential, you can go to the third point, which is tell this man how you really feel. Like, maybe you're asking him and he's not getting it. because you haven't clearly articulated how you felt about the situation or how he makes you feel every time you ask him to do something, or every time you build this anticipation that he's going to show up for you and then he doesn't. Clearly articulate to this man, I don't like how I feel when I ask you to do A and you decide to do B. It makes me feel irrelevant. It makes me feel insecure. It causes me to feel like this relationship is not going to last. It causes me to feel like you do not care about me. I think that I know that you love me, but I just feel like you don't care about me, or that you don't like me, or that you disregard me, and it makes me feel disrespected and little. Let this man know exactly how you feel. Once you've let him know how you feel and that still isn't working, let's go to number 4. You break the cycle. Now, after you vented to him, you vented to your mama's boy, you let him know how you feel, and he still isn't getting it, break the cycle. And then by breaking the cycle, what I mean is this. Now you set forth expectations. This is my expectation. You see, because sometimes what we do is we go to step 2 and we start to expect instead of accept. We start to expect instead of ACCEPT, accept. You have to accept first. Once you've done all the accepting that the world has to offer, now you have to put forth some expectation. Listen, this is what it's going to be. If you want to be with me, I need you to do this. If you want this relationship to last, I need you to show up in this way. And then you can start to gain some hedgeway, like, you know what I'm saying? Because you're clearly articulating what it is, not just what you want, but what you need from this man, what you need from him. Clearly articulate and put forth an expectation. That's a standard. This is a standard of mine in this relationship. Can you foot the bill? Yes? No? If it's no, then check this. Point number 5. Learn when to move on. Sometimes you can be on the losing team for so long, and we all love a story that is filled with tragedy, that's filled with loss, and all of a sudden, you know, a win comes. And then the character, you know, finally finds his or her strength, and now everything is good. We love those type of stories. And I'm hoping, beloved, that you, if you're in this situation, that is your story, that you had a time in your relationship or a season where it just was not working, and then all of a sudden you guys found your happy place. I hope that's you know, your outcome, that's the result. But if it's not, if you're in this vicious cycle constantly, if you put forth the expectations and it's still not being met, then what you have to do now is you have to learn when to move on. You have to learn when being on the losing team is too much for you, for your sanity, for your mental state of mind, for your physical state, for your emotional state, your spiritual state. Know when enough is enough and when you have to move on. And perhaps in you moving on, maybe he'll find his way and perhaps he'll come back to you. Maybe not a different man, like he's totally different, but some changed behaviors and some tweaks that he's made, then you can accept and tolerate and say, okay, now we can move forward. And maybe he won't. And you'll have to find your peace elsewhere. But at least you know that you've captured your power and you've tried everything that you did to be the best woman that you can be. Now, listen, before any of you feminists are out there like, hey, listen, you saying all this to women, but what about a man? This is not a video for men. This is for you. Like, I'm trying to give you empowerment. I'm not trying to teach you how to be with a man because I'm a man. I'm trying to teach you how to be your best self in the relationship as a woman and what you can do to gain your peace of mind and your sanity. That's the whole intent of this video. I hope that you accept that. Apply those 5 principles. Let me know how it works in the comments below, and let me know what you feel about it. All right. Hey, I'm Sharif, Mr. Aim for I Am Ali. Thanks for watching this video. If no one has told you, allow me to be the first. I see the supreme lover in you. Blessings.